Like you can see, like people have been drinking alcohol, gambling. That those are also bad practices. Stealing, robbery, murder. All these things are bad practices. They are also itself like social problems. So this type of social problems, sometimes like if it is like just affecting one person only, like let's say a person is drinking alcohol, and I have a okay, I'll be sending the reading material way or any way otherwise in your assignment afterwards. Okay, for now I just displayed it from here because it gets quick. Sometimes searching the file itself sometimes takes time also. So like some of the cases like drinking alcohol, let's say people drink alcohol and they don't affect anyone, then that is like a individual misconduct because that is not affecting the society. Whereas a person, like if a person drinks alcohol and then starts shouting in the locality, starts fighting, okay, making noise, all these things which you might often see that, okay, then that is going to be a social misconduct. Okay, like the drunkard is itself like quarreling and damaging different things, then that is a social misconduct. So this is itself also like a social a social problem. Same way like girls trafficking, okay, that is also a social problem. So these are the bad practices in the society. Okay, like so what more can you think about social problem rather than what I told right now? What other examples do you have? Additional examples? Okay.
Torture.
Okay, torture. Okay.
Racism.
Racism.
Child labor.
Child labor. Yeah, that's all what you study in grade 6 and 7 also. Yes, what was that?
Child marriage.
Child marriage. Okay, all these are social problems. Like earlier in the previous course, was anyone trying to say anything? Okay, if not, like earlier, like in the previous course, not only with social problem, there was social inequality also linked with this unit. Okay, like in case of inequality, it's trying to show that there is unequal. People are being treated unequal. Like Riva told racism, that's a part of like treating unequally. That's also a part of like you can say that is a social problem. Same way like other discrimination. Some are based on race or same let's say itself caste or some maybe based on sometimes maybe economic level also poverty. That's also a inequality. Poverty is itself showing inequality because that's showing a difference. Okay, so that is also social problem, social inequality, which is going to be connected with most of the causes of some of the social problems also. So we have others like itself corruption, drug trafficking, uh, brain drain, dowry, etc. There are so many of them. So out of which we don't have to study all of them. Okay, we just need to study few of them only. In grade 9, again there will be few other additional topic. Additional means there will be different social problems to again discuss on. Itself like prostitution to different things are also included itself in social problem. So that's going to be a part of grade 9 topic. Okay, so for this year our first lesson here is trying to talk about mainly dowry and brain drain. So based on that we're going to start a short video, so you will just understand the concept of dowry which you already know also. Okay, so that you will get a concept of like sometimes just preparing skit to everything which you also know, but just trying to give some more ideas. Okay, here my files were already ready to like present. So only in case like I told, if sometimes there's a problem of electricity.
Uy, pagkara daw. Kemun লাগতাছে কি রকম কাপড় পিনছে
আয় আয় মিনা আমাকে লগে আয়
Sir, which language are they speaking?
আরে শয়তান পোলাপান যা যা
Language. Oh, just
Sir, which language?
Bangla.
Sir, how to?
No, just wait. Okay. We had that.
Sir, how do you understand Bengali language?
That's what I'm telling. There was English was itself there. Okay.
All dressed up like that? Hey, look! Come on! Come with us, Meena!
Go away, you naughty children.
Tara! What's wrong, Tara?
What can I say? My father is talking about my marriage. He says it's time now. I'm 18.
Marriage? What marriage? Oh no! Not then!
Meena, I don't want to marry that man's son. All they talk about is money. They don't care about the girl.
Why don't you say something to your mother and father?
Meena, you know I can't talk to my parents about my marriage. And where will we get this kind of money? We'll be ruined.
Oh, Tara, don't say that. There must be something we can do. I'll ask Mama and Granny.
We are not asking for much. Just a bicycle and 20,000 rupees.
My brother's right. After all, my son is a fine young man. He earns a lot in the city.
What terrible people. They are so greedy.
But where would I get this money? I will have to sell everything.
If you can't raise the dowry, how can we have a wedding? There are other families who are interested. So greedy.
Show me too. And so they told Uncle to give all that money and a bicycle.
But where can they find so much money?
When I was young, things were different. These days, it's become the practice to give such a big dowry.
Is it necessary to give dowry?
No, not really. But it's just that it has become very common.
When I grow up and get married, I won't ask for a dowry.
Bravo, Raju. I'm proud of you. Let's hope we find someone like you to marry Meena.
Father, I don't want Mama and you to give a dowry for me.
You're right, Meena. If everyone refuses to give and take dowry, then we can change the practice.
So everyone must say no to dowry.
Say no to dowry.
Go and tell that to the shopkeeper and his brother.
Say no to dowry. Say no to dowry. Say no to dowry. Say no to dowry.
You know, Uncle, the government has made dowry illegal.
Yes, I know. But these people don't know the law. So we can demand what we like. Say no to dowry. Stupid bird. Why should anyone refuse a dowry?
And since these people are so naive, we can always demand more dowry after the wedding.
Yes, we'll demand a bicycle now and a motorbike later. Bicycle now? Motorbike later? Hey, that's Meena's parrot. He repeats our words. Hey, come here. Come here. Oh! Brother, you can't be serious. It's only a parrot. Parrot? I can't be. Oh!
What happened at the shopkeeper's house, Mittu?
Bicycle now? Motorbike later?
What does that mean? Do you understand, Granny?
Good grief. So those greedy people are planning to ask for even more dowry after the wedding?
That's awful.
So greedy.
Let's go and tell Tara. Oh, Tara.
What's happened? Tell me.
Tara, those people are terrible. They are going to ask for even more dowry after the marriage.
How do you know?
Mittu heard them.
Bicycle now? Motorbike later?
Oh, no. This is the limit.
What's going on?
What's the matter, Tara?
Tara's upset about this dowry business.
But why? We have to give the dowry.
Who would accept a girl without a dowry?
I will when I grow up.
I wish we could change the practice.
But Aunt, Uncle, please listen. After the marriage, these people will demand a motorbike.
What?
How do you know?
Mittu heard them talking.
Bicycle now? Motorbike later?
It can't be.
I can't believe these people and their dowry demands. What do you think we should do?
Just refuse?
Yes, that's right. We will refuse.
Yes, we must.
Say no to dowry?
Not only that, we should also warn others about these terrible people. Let's talk to the headman.
So these greedy people not only make a huge dowry demand, but they also plan to extort more after the wedding.
We've decided to throw them out when they come tomorrow.
I hear they have been going from house to house asking about eligible girls.
And they are only interested in the dowry.
We must reject these greedy people.
Yes, and all our village should do so.
You know, it's against the law to give or receive a...
Didn't know that.
But that's great.
But usually when a good boy comes along, it's difficult to refuse to give a dowry.
And people like to give a dowry for their daughters.
That's the whole point. Shouldn't we reject the practice altogether?
Yes.
We have to.
I die, yes.
Say no to dowry.
The parrot speaks good sense. I don't like the idea of being bought as a bridegroom. I certainly won't accept dowry when I marry.
Neither Neither will I. And I don't want my parents to give a dowry for me.
We're proud of you, young people. Every boy and girl should act like you.
Right. Our whole community should decide not to give or take dowry.
That's right.
Yes, must say it.
Say no to dowry.
Say no to dowry.
Yes, I agree. Indeed, that's right.
That's right.
Well, what have you decided?
Unless the dowry is agreed today, we'll call off the marriage.
Go on, Father.
Yes, the marriage is off. We're not going to give any dowry.
What's all this? What are you doing?
You're making a big mistake. Without a dowry, you will never get your daughter married off.
We shall see. There's no hurry.
We shall see.
Bah, let's leave. There's nothing for us here.
Yes, let's go. There are other families who are interested in our boy.
Let's go back to the first house. We'll reduce the dowry.
Say no to dowry.
Bah! I'm leaving this village. It's very backward.
Say no to dowry. Say no to dowry. When we all say no, united we will be. Say no to dowry. Say no to dowry.
Say no to dowry.
Okay, so that was a short clip about dowry. So I know you already know what is dowry, everything. So we just wanted to recall, okay, so that you just remember as well. So let us have some discussion regarding this. What do you think about dowry? Okay, now. So you watch this also, no, rather than just talking about that also. Just reflect and let's talk. What do you think? Do you think dowry is good, or do you think dowry is bad? And what is the reason you think it's good, or why do you think it's bad? Okay, just give your logic. Okay, I will pick up randomly. Malika, I can't see you. Jagriti, Vaibhavi, Naman, Subi, Sudin, Agrima. Okay, like I'll be taking screenshots and these things will be evaluated. Okay, later on, like anytime screenshots can be taken. Like unluckily, let's say the camera was off, then it looks like during that random sample, it looks like you're the ones turning it off most of the time. So while evaluating that will be seen later on. So Malika, please keep it little down. And Jagriti, I cannot see Jagriti as at all. Naman, Subi.
So like dowry means dayaj in Nepali, no?
Yeah, in Dahej it's been used itself. Directly, more or less in India or Tarib, or you can see the others are using in the terms like Daiso as well. Okay, what do you think regarding this? Okay, let us start randomly. Kusang, what do you think about dowry? Do you think this is good or bad? And why?
I
Can
think
you
I think it's
tell your opinion?
largely negative.
Yes.
Yes, I think it's largely negative.
Once again, Kusan, I couldn't hear you.
In my opinion, it's largely negative.
Okay, so can someone repeat what he said? Because maybe some of time I'm listening from speaker and it's not coming clear. Like from headphone, sometimes it comes very clear. In your opinion, it's not good. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
And yeah, what is the reason? Why do you think it's not good?
because it
Because
can sometimes cause.
okay, after this, we'll just continue with another person also. Now, Dibja, what do you think about this dowry system? Do you think this is a good system or bad system?
Sorry, this is bad.
Yeah, why do you think it is bad? Your reason? Okay, rather than just writing in the exam, we want to say it so that we know what are our different people's perspective about different things. Okay, next, Geet, can you share your ideas? What do you think about this dowry system? Do you think it's a good system, or what do you think? Let us learn from our class itself, like from opinion of each other as well first.
So I don't think this is a good practice because we should not be paying for getting
Okay.
married.
Okay, so like I will come to others as soon as possible. I'll also be sharing few things. Okay, so you can see like in the name of dowry, there are different like torture going on for like as a domestic violence in most of the places, so whether it be Nepal. Recently itself, the news was showing around, I think Pokhara also. It was told in the name of like dowry that happened within 21 days after marriage, 21 or 27 or around that. That was a recent news itself, not only talking about uh, Tarai region or India or whatever. You can see itself, those things are prevailing, and people have to sacrifice their life just because of this thing. Okay, and last time also, before, I don't know, maybe it was 3 or 4 months, it was, I think, India also. Okay, and then she sacrificed herself, saying parents not to continue with the system. So you can still see, okay, this one documentary which I saw, no, this one which I saw was from long time back. So you can see it has been starting from a long time before, and still it's prevailing to some extent. Although in spite of several like education, or in spite of keeping in the course and curriculum, still you can see it's impacting. Like there's an impact. Still, it's going on. Like it should not be forced. Okay, like if it's forced too much, then that's what is the consequence. If people give voluntarily, then that's fine also, I think. But you can see like the way negotiation going on in that case of that. Maybe every time it doesn't go, but indirectly maybe the things are evaluated also. Okay, so this, like this law itself also made, okay, around 2074, I think, or 70, yeah, 74, there was a Moluki in a new version saying that if there's any incident in case of name of dowry, then that is totally like it's against the law, and the person who is doing that will be punished by the law. So Muluki in so that was a new version where they had kept that also. In spite of that, you can see a few things are still going, and that's why they're taking, because the incidents is supposed to, like, that happened because of in the name of dowry. That is, if it is there, then that is going to be punished also. Even for other ways also, it's going to be punished. Okay, like you cannot make someone do suicide at all. You cannot torture anyone. If you happen to do that, harassment, everything, then the person who does it who is going to be punished by the law. Okay, not just in the name of dowry, even if other things also, that's you cannot do any torture or harassment to anything that makes somebody else do suicide also. That's also,
Mental
yeah.
torture.
So in case of so in the name of dowry also, for that also there is going to be different there's going to be a punishment by the law, but in spite of that still it's taking place to some extent. So what do you think others, like what do you think about dowry? So far I told such things like in a way which are supposed to be knowing as well, right? So what do you think about dowry takers? Do you think it's good or bad? I know most are going to say bad because I told all bad things. You can give your own logic also. Just counter. You can counter. You can be a devil's advocate, like just. But explain. Don't just say half, which will just make other person confused. Yes. What do you think, Dikas?
It is a bad tradition, sir.
Okay. Why do you think so? Same reasons.
Yes, sir, like dowry means taking something from a family and taking something like by force is not good.
Yeah.
Or mainly by poor people, like poor people cannot mostly afford the things people ask for during dowry, so it is also not good.
Yeah. Because of that, also
Sir,
some.
and like marriage also is to love each other, no sir? Why do they need money?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. Of course, like if both can, of course, work and do together, and then support each other, right? It's not only about dowry or anything. Like if the girl is educated and then they're all capable, you can see they can be doing better than that also. So maybe that's why parents should be focusing more on education than dowry. Educating the whatever, like a girl child, rather than just keeping money for dowry only. Okay, I think that's what is my opinion as well, but everyone doesn't think the same way in the country. Some still maybe looking after that as well. So although it was a good system at first, like maybe it started in a good way of giving gifts, okay, but slowly it got converted into a bad practices. Like in at first, of course, the boys are going to get inherited, like are going to inherit property from their parents. But for girls, to some extent, it was like a gift, and it is for her itself to survive. And normally, in some cases, the history it shows that if the girl dies, then it goes back to the parents itself. It's for her, okay. So that's the system, but later on, it is in such a way there is a negotiation of dowry at times, like you can see. Maybe it's not directly negotiation also, but there will be. That's how it's been tortured, and how you can see from the news as well. So that's about dowry. And next topic is regarding brain drain. So for brain drain, we talked in human resources as well that most of the people with brain are getting drained, means they are going out of the country, and that's how the country is not developing. So that's intellectual migration. All those people, like you can see Australia, they'll start looking after first division marks or what are the highest mark, what even intake by the university. Okay, when the university intakes, and you can see how intellectual people are being taken by US or Australia, and remaining they're going to not everyone has gone, okay, but most of them we can see their criteria. So within that criteria itself, we can see intellectual people are being taken away by those developed countries itself, and they are getting developed because they're using those energy of youth. Okay, we have brain and we have mind. Okay, they have the energy, who can really do well, and they are going to get also developed. And country like Nepal, who has spent, okay, maybe even in like even if not for directly to private, but more or less you are also taking the facilities of the country to some extent. Okay, everyone to some extent, government schooling to everything. You can see that is directly uh, tax of the government collected by the whole country. So it means the country spends so much in grooming, and they go later on to develop other country. So brain, that is a brain drain. At the same time, it's very difficult also. You can see the government also doesn't have proper planning and policy. Sometimes people are, in case of even like providing jobs, the ones who have to invest have to feel secure. There's no proper security, then they don't start spending. When they don't start spending for business, there won't be job at all in the market. Also, government also plays the role. It's, we cannot depend only on government. Also, it's both ways. Okay, like government also has to do from its side, and other also. Government cannot do everything all on also. But if government, the leader itself is making bad policies, then there's going to be an impact because of the policy itself. The people, sometimes you can say, because of the law itself, the people are looking at the loophole and working accordingly. Same looking at the policy itself, they might not do better. They might not either invest or so. But however, like brain drain here, it's itself like intellectual people are going out of the country, and there has to be several ways. Like at times, like in long time before, when Baburam Bhattara is like he was a prime minister. I just looked at his interview. He was interviewed about brain drain thing itself, and he was telling that he would be working on that also. But everyone just says that, and to some extent, maybe at times right now they are saying those people who come from abroad, they will invest around maybe 7 lakh or 10 lakh if they want to do business within the country. So this type of things to some extent also is a motivation, rather than investing 25 lakhs and going to Australia and then working and then again at the same time, like if you, they invest itself in the country and do well, I think they can get that good return also some of the time. Not in all cases, okay. It requires a lot of planning to everything. So maybe that's why government is just telling they will invest around, I'm just saying approx 20, 25, 30, because that's what maybe college fees might be around 12 to 15, around that range for now, I think. So you can see how people are going. Rather than that, they can invest itself also and work within the country, so that country can develop. We can start exporting things right now because of import itself. Also, our business deficit, trade deficit is there. Vyapar kata, which we can keep on saying. There's more import than export also. Okay, so these are the things about brain drain. So we'll be coming towards like with this topic again and again in foreign employment. Sometimes we'll talk about the importance also. So everything has to be balanced. Like if the people cannot stay within the country and stay idle as well, they need to earn something because they have to look after the family. If there's no job within the country, that people have to be forced to go to Gulf countries also, Khadi Muluk, right? Exactly. And you can see they are returning in itself in boxes when they are made to work in several difficult places. I'm not talking about those US or America. I'm talking about other construction places where they are going also. But they have to earn. There is no proper employment. So, but brain drain normally is talking about the intellectual migration here. Okay, is it clear? Okay, we went 4 minutes extra just to finish this topic on time as well. Okay, do you have any question regarding this dowry and brain drain? If not, we can end this class for today, and then I will be just, yeah, please do all the question answers from the book for now. Page number 73. I will keep that in the Google Classroom as well. If there's anything you can ask, if not, you can ask in next class or sometimes even during remedial. Yesterday, electricity had just, no, internet had just gone, and then I just canceled the remedial because I cannot do multitasking when the electricity goes. Like I have to just go from one device. And anyway, sometimes most of them don't come also. I keep on waiting and then they are not there. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Bye bye, sir.
Thank you.
Bye
Take
bye,
care.
sir.
Meet in the next class again.
Sir,
Yes, Nirvik.
sir, I have completed my both assignments, so should I come in the middle class?
Today there is no remedial for grade 8.
No, sir, other day.
No, if there are no assignments left, then maybe you don't have to come if nothing has been left. But I have not revised that here once again.
No, sir, after you revise, if something is missing, I'll be there in the middle class, sir.
Yeah, because revising again and again, it takes time because there are other deadlines also. I told, like had to give the question papers on time. Okay?
Sir, and another question, sir, like when should we come to school to take our papers?